Dave Sullivan.
Okay, thank you. Instead, I'm the chair of the board. One of my assignments this year. We divide up the assignments at the beginning of the year, and we're each on about a dozen boards. One of the things that your county commissioners do is they represent you on the regional and state and the national level. And so we're on a number of regional boards that provide different functions that help make decisions, do planning, and help bring resources to Jefferson County. County government is a complex thing for commissioners. We're the legislative body. We pass the ordinances, those kind of rules. We also do the budgets. So you just heard from each one of our elected officials, and we also have our other departments. We do the budgets for them. This year, we had a collaborative budget process that I'm so proud of. If we go around the state and we talk to other people from other counties and hear their stories of some of the pain they went through in these economic times trying to develop a budget, you would realize what an impressive thing that is. Not very dramatic. It doesn't get you a lot of headlines, but when you collaborate and work together, you make better decisions. And we were able to come together under the guidance of our administrator, Philip Morley, and come together with a recommendation, not just for this year, but the next year or so going forward. So we're actually in better shape than most counties, and in a state that's actually in better shape than most states. And that should be a little disturbing for everybody. You know, there was a time, a short time ago, where this county was a strong partner. We set reserves aside. We were able to help Fire District 5 when they were in trouble. We were able to step in with the PUD down at Beckett Point and help them out when they needed support. We've been able to be the strong partner. And now we're looking around for strong partners, and everybody's got a challenge to do that. So Tony was absolutely right. We need the citizens, we need your involvement, and we're getting it in a lot of different ways. And so I hope we're able to share more about that tonight.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bill Johnson.
Good evening. Can you hear me? As David said, we're on about 12 boards each, and what I'm doing right now is applying for another board for the public, public development authority in the city of Fort County, so that we will have a connection. The county will have a connection with what's happening with the PDA, and as they move forward. And one of the things the PDA is going to be working on is several collaborative with Fort Worden, and I'm on the Fort Worden Advisory Committee for that one as well. And they will be working with the new School for Historic Preservation, which is been endorsed by the Department of Archaeology and Historic Preservation, the Washington Trust for Historic Preservation, and the National Trust. We've had people come from the National Trust quite excited about this program. I'm on the interim board there as well. But on top of all the boards and the different things that we are involved in, we get these surprise calls occasionally, and I just got called by the Census Bureau. I went to Spokane to be briefed on the census, and I went there only because my fellow commissioners outdogged me. I'm going to talk a little bit about the census because part of my responsibility is making sure that everybody in the county understands how important the census is. The fact that the information you give will never be given out. It's confidential. It's confidential to the point that President Truman, during his presidency, they were going to remodel the White House, and they wanted to find out some information about the neighborhood that they were going to be temporarily moving into, so they went to the Census Bureau, and the census said, sorry, the president cannot have any of this information. It is truly confidential. I'm pretty excited. I'm really excited about this School for Historic Preservation. I think it is going to be similar to the school, a wooden boat building. People come in from all over the country to plan, to hope. And we have here, I'd say we're the best location for historic preservation because of not only downtown Fort Townsend, but the school will be in Fort Worden, which is all historic buildings. And people will be taught how to properly paint historic buildings, replace slate roofs on historic buildings. Right now, there's a $300,000 grant to replace, and not replace, but restore the windows on the gymnasium at the fort and the administration building. And the exciting part about it is we're bringing in students, a lot of them vets, who will do the work, and we get that labor basically for free. And what they get out of the deal is an opportunity to be able to do this work around the state. So, that's my 2 minutes up. Thank you.
And the district commissioner for this area, John Austin.
Thanks. It's nice to see up on that red sign there, Port Ludlow Village Council is represented, the disaster preparedness group. A bunch of the representatives, or elected representatives, haven't been mentioned yet, and that is the large group of elected representatives we have right here in this community. We have the Port Ludlow Village Council, and the chair is sitting toward the back there modestly. We have the chair, or at least former chair, I think, of the LMC. And for those of you who haven't kept track of it, we do have the Port Ludlow Village Council, we have the Ludlow Maintenance Commission, we have the South Bay Community Association, we have the North Bay Lot Owners Association. So this is a community that really has a lot of volunteer work, in addition to the great volunteers that the sheriff has already pointed out to us. And I think it's been said on more than one occasion that the county would have a very hard time making it without the volunteers we have. As you probably know, many of our boards are staffed by volunteers, and we would be in a tough position without that. But the commissioners do some work too. And there are really, thank you, David, for your introduction on generally what we do. I'll just mention a couple of things that I'm kind of excited about. One of them is we're working very hard right now to see that the publicly held land in eastern Jefferson County, which means primarily land that is currently administered by the DNR, continues to be available to citizens in the county. You may have read in the newspaper recently that there was a great deal of concern that the trees that are located between Gibbs Lake and Bozide Lake were going to be harvested. I went and spoke to Commissioner Goldmark and to his staff, and they've held off on that sale, and I doubt very much that those trees will be harvested, at least in our lifetime. What we're going to do is also meet with the commissioner and see that there can be an effective way of making sure that there is an intelligent harvest of the trees that are owned by the DNR in our county, because as you may or may not know, revenue from those harvests goes to pay for some of the services that are given to the citizens in the county. So I'm very excited about that. One of my positions currently is on the State Board of Health, and the State Board of Health has overall responsibility for the regulations that govern our health and safety. The water that you get, how safe it is, and I know that in this particular community there is some concern about arsenic, so we spread it around a little bit so we don't get as much as would be harmful to us.